Magus to the Library Volume 5 Review. Since it's caught up to the Japanese releases, Magus to the Library doesn't come out all that often in English, but whenever it does, it proves to be an engrossing read. And the series has hit 5 volumes. It's time to check in with Tio and it continues to chase with dreams. As we reunite with our protagonist, we find him and his classmates going around the various offices they could choose to work under. There they do a half day's work, getting to know what each department does and how their skill sets help or hinder them there. Afterwards, it's back to class, and a grueling test, which Tio still can't seem to complete before time's up. To make matters worse, Tio somehow made an enemy of his classmate Aya Gonjo, who believes he doesn't belong in their class if he can keep up with the tests and requirements. Aya herself always clears tests without issues with leads. Tio totally assumes she must love books, but Aya denies his claim and only becomes more disgruntled with him. What Tio doesn't know is that Aya's dream was to be a scholar who researched the stars. But because no one takes the one woman as apprentice scholars, there is no path forward for her there, become a kapna is the closest she can get to chasing her thirst for knowledge. This is also what frustrates her about Tio. She thinks he doesn't take things seriously, and that being a man has opened doors to him that would never be available to her. As cheerful and uplifting as Magus at the library is, I appreciate that it doesn't shy away from exploring topics like this, showing that the world he presented which isn't fair and not everyone has equal opportunities to accomplish what they wish to. Author Mitsumi Izumi never sugarcoats it and instead chooses to balance the gloominess of it with the bright personality of our protagonist. Because installments of the series are such big books, they manage never linger on the one plot for too long. Aya's storyline slots is neatly alongside the storyline from Volume 4, where Tio is still trying to work out how to do better in class and work out which office he wants to work under. And as mentioned earlier, we spent a significant amount of time getting to see how the different departments work, such as those that handle restorations and cataloging. The chapters never linger on the day placements for too long, just enough for us to get a peek at the inner working and understand which members of the class may fit in there after their training. This manga is also excelled, not only because of its attention to detail but also knowing where to move the story along and not get stuck on one particular plot point. Tio may be no closer to working out what his goal is. The series doesn't seem like it has any intention of spinning its wheels here, but at the end of the volume, the plot is beginning to move in an interesting new direction with the introduction of a late arrival to Tio's class. I certainly can't wait to see what Volume 6 has in store for us there. The only tiny issue I have with this book is that it's very heavy on the dialogue, that this does seem sometimes overtake the art. With so many speech bubbles on the page, it becomes difficult for Izumi to fit the same level of detail we're used to into every panel. However, there are still plenty of 2-page spreads and full-page panels where Izumi can show off her talents, and those more than make up for what we may have lost among all the exposition. Magus to the Library Volume Farm comes to the West, thanks to Kodansha, continues to be translated by Stephen Kohler. The translation reads well with no issues to note. Kodansha currently has Volume 6 scheduled for the English release in December, but since there has been to be a Volume 6 in Japan, I'll surprised if it did end up flipping into next year. Overall, Magus at the Library Volume 5 offers another engrossing read that sheds light on the inequality of the world Tio lives in, but never gets itself bogged down with gloomy feelings. With a delicate touch, Mitsu Izumi's series continues to delight with its thoughtful world building and fascinating cast of characters. 9/10.